challenges and promoting economic transformation.
The meeting, which focused on several key issues affecting the region, saw the president reiterate his firm stance on denying bail to individuals involved in irregularities related to PDM. He stressed the importance of accountability in ensuring the program's success.
Your eco-corrects, people have been playing around with them. Somebody steals PDM money, then they say that he refunds the money, he's put in jail and he's given a bond by police. Now this one is finished. Anybody who steals PDM money, Myoga money, will go to jail. No policeman will give him a bond. Nobody. Because I told them, I'm going to put it in writing. And even the bail by the courts, I'm going to discuss with the Chief Justice to ensure that those bails stop.
Turning to agriculture, President Museveni emphasized the crucial role of irrigation in boosting crop yields in Teso. He urged farmers in the region to adapt modern irrigation techniques to combat the challenges posed by erratic rainfall patterns. The president also highlighted cassava as a key crop with significant potential for the region. In addition, Museveni pointed out the high cost of importing starch for pharmaceutical companies and suggested that cassava could be a viable local solution to reduce these costs.
He produces the starch, he produces the ethanol, the things we want now for our cassava. And once he has produced, we first see how much did he spend on buying the raw material. Because he bought the raw material from the Teso, some Teso people. How much did he spend on salaries? Because he paid salaries. How much did he spend on electricity? Now, these are called costs. So we deduct those from his gross income.
The meeting was also attended by Dr. Chris Badiomonsi, the Minister of ICT and National Guidance, who supported the President's vision for regional growth.
Meanwhile, President Yoweri Museveni has urged leaders in Teso sub-region to prioritize the fight against land fragmentation in the region to foster sustainable development. While addressing a gathering at the home of the Vice President, Major Retired Jessica Lupo in Katakwi Town Council, Ngariam County, Katakwi District, President Museveni emphasized the need for proactive leadership to address Africa's persistent challenges. Now, earlier, the president toured the vice president's model farm named Katakwi Intensive Farm, which features poultry, piggery, fish farming, banana growing, and dairy farming. The president identified land fragmentation as a significant obstacle to development. In a demonstration of commitment to President Museveni's vision on land management, the Vice President Alupo shared how her family, inspired by this narrative, has been applying it to their farm. The Vice President also highlighted the significant achievements made in various agricultural enterprises aimed at combating poverty. Now, in attendance were the Vice President's family members, including her mother, Benedetta Kolepel, the clergy, Soroti Catholic Bishop Dr. Joseph Echiro Oliach, Dr. Kosea Odong, Bishop of Soroti Anglican Diocese, resident district commissioners, local and district council leaders, among others.
Gives 35 liters. We established 3 fish ponds, and most of the ideas, Your Excellency, are to pilot so that if it is successful, we spread to the farmers. When we harvest the tilapia, we get 20 million. When we harvest the catfish, we get 20 million. So when you combine all the 2 ponds, you get 40 million. Then piggery, we have 10 pigs, which are gills or sows, and then 1 boar. So when we sell 100 piglets from the 10 sows, we get 20 million. From bananas, Your Excellency, the biggest challenge has been sunshine. Apparently, Your Excellency, there is a lot of market for bananas here. Women who have restaurants in the town council come to book. Is it about to be ready? Is it about to be ready?
This is really the issue. If we are going to have Abarata, Kere, Bona, Bagaware, which was our original position in the 1960s, by the time we came in government, we now found that because of lack of vision, because the Bible says, a country without a vision perishes. So to have leaders who have no vision, you're really in danger. So because of lack of vision, by the time we came, which was like more than 20 years since independence, many distortions had happened. Like this land fragmentation. You wonder why the leaders could not, because this question of the population increasing is not new. Like this question of sharing, of inheritance. They could not allow this fragmentation. Every time the head of family goes, whatever he has built up is fragmented. So that means each generation you are going back to zero. Somebody has become a rich man, now he has died. The children, just like ants, they eat the wealth. What happened? Oh, he was a rich man, but so, and yet, that's how the Europeans were able to find how to divide without destroying. This is the use of shares. But in the case of Akoka Alupo, the father died without in war. He was killed by the landmine. So I don't think he wrote a will. So it must be them who agreed how to share. So if they agreed, let's assume she says there are 9, including your mother.
Yes, sir.
So if there are 9, that means if you divide equally, that's 11% or something like that. Or whatever way they want to divide. But if you say they divide 11%, that money they have been accumulating, if it is 400 million, after they have, remember they have deducted the costs. They have paid the workers, they have bought the inputs, and they have remained, let's say, with 400 million. You divide by 9 people equally, and each one gets whatever, and that's now his or her. He can now go and accumulate and do our own things separate from this one here. So this farm here can produce another 9 farms. This one is company owned, the others are individual owned. So you divide, but you divide in a smart way. You don't destroy, you add on. But because nobody had thought about this, by the time we came, we found many areas of Uganda had become fragmented landways. Bugisu, Kabare, even some parts of Ankole, Busoga, the Renzori, this Mount Elgon, very, very fragmented. So that's how now, because of Akwenyuk on our side, not a joke, mot. People are waking up slowly. Akwenyuk is coming. So therefore, I'm very happy to be here. Now, she has asked me to give each one of you a high for the councillors. And when a daughter asks, you can't say no.
Now, the Prime Minister, Rhoda Ngonzi, has directed that all the illegal logging activities in Bugoma Central Forest Reserve stop with immediate effect. Ngonzi made this directive today during a meeting with Bunyoro leaders at her office in Kampala. Minister for Tourism, Tom Butime, informed the meeting that he has finalized a cabinet paper to digazette Bugoma Forest into a national park from the management of Uganda National Forest Authority, so as to measure, this as a measure to preserve the natural resource.
Bugoma Central Forest Reserve is located in the sub-counties of Kyangwari, Kaboya and Kiziramfumbi in Chikube district and Buseruka in Hoima district. The forest was gazetted in 1932, covering 41,144 hectares of the forest cover. However, a total of about 39,000 hectares has since been encroached on, and the forest is being depleted day by day to near extinction.
If you go to Bugoma, you can cry even now. These claimants, shamelessly, even now, are cutting the mahogany trees, the msizis, huge trees in Tuchaku.
The concern was top on the agenda during the meeting of the Bunyoro leaders with the Prime Minister of Uganda, Rhoda Ngonzi, at our office in Kampala.
When, even as I speak right now, by tomorrow evening, there will be a percentage that will be gone.
During the meeting, the National Forest Authority, namely 22 individuals and companies, allegedly grabbed the Bugoma Central Forest Reserve.
These are listed. The names of people are there with the areas they are claiming.
As a way of intervention to stop the ongoing destruction of Bugoma Forest, the Prime Minister Rhoda Ngonzi has directed that all the illegal logging activities in Bugoma Central Forest Reserve stop with immediate effect.
And I will write a letter as Prime Minister of this country, stopping all the activities in that forest, and make sure that we enforce this.
The Prime Minister was also informed that several land titles were issued by the Uganda Land Commission, to which the Prime Minister also directed they should be cancelled.
Now that this happened, please go ahead and cancel all the titles. I am going to write to you, to the Minister, so that you can start the process of cancelling all these fake titles. And I'm told they put machines, and each day a machine can cut 1,000 or 2,000 trees a day.
The Prime Minister says the President is concerned that the destruction of the forest in Uganda is at an alarming rate. The Minister for Tourism, retired Colonel Tom Butime, informed the meeting that he has finalized a cabinet paper to digazette Bugoma Central Forest Reserve into a national park from the management of the National Forest Authority as a measure to protect it.
The cabinet paper for Bugoma is actually ready. It is ready, and we shall present it to change use, isn't it? From being National Forest Authority and that of which to become part of the national park. That paper is ready.
However, the State Minister for Water and Environment, Aisha Sekindi, and State Minister for Bunyoro Affairs, Jennifer Namuyangu, disagreed with the proposal to transfer Bugoma Forest to the Uganda National Wildlife Authority.
Prime Minister, why I would not support who are taking over these forests? We have not looked at these forests as a source of income.
So let us not get annoyed and excited over giving this forest to UWA. Let us look for a way forward.
Meanwhile, the Bunyoro leaders also raised concern from the fisher communities, especially on Lake Albert, who accused the fisheries officers of mistreating and denying them their livelihood in the name of protecting the sector.
What hurts them most is that the Fisheries Protection Unit, which is supposed to protect these fish to grow and become bigger, as they were told, are the ones now monopolizing the fishing, the young fish in the lake.
The Bunyoro members of parliament warned that if nothing is done to protect the local communities on the lake, the matter will cost the NRM party in the next general elections.
We are going to get the highest resistance from the fishing communities come 2025, 2026.
I think the president is not being helped by our fishery technocrats.
And indeed, it is a time bomb that we are seated on as the NRM government, that we are getting a lot of castigation from the fishing community along all lake showers, and not only in Koima district, but also Chikobe, but also in Pilisa, Kagadi.
Ministry for Fisheries has a budget in this year's budget to support the fishing communities.
The Prime Minister was also bitter about the companies that have been licensed to grow sugarcane in Bunyoro sub-region.
You want to enslave our people in poverty for life. That for them they should cut sugar canes and carry them on their head, and they are paid 2,000. Please don't never under my chair. We don't want our people to be enslaved by your rich people.
Now, His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni has pledged to source more funding for the Parish Development Model PDM program if the current beneficiaries exhibit high levels of performance and proper management. President Museveni, who concluded his 3-day wealth creation tour in Teso sub-region this Wednesday evening, addressed a public rally in Kabiramaido district. He also reiterated his commitment to punish those betraying the program.
State House Controller General Reche Government Chief Whip Teso and Minister Evelyn Anita led the morning procession to Kabiramaido for the wealth creation public gathering. Moments later, the gathering received the President of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The public engagement marked the last day of the 3-day presidential wealth creation tour of the Teso sub-region.
We are trading with Buganda, and right now we are restocking. The money that we get from PDM, the money that we get from Enyoga, our people are beginning to restock.
Teso also has 22 constituencies, of which 8 have technical institutions and 14 do not have.
Retired Major Jessica Alupo, the Vice President of Uganda, and Flight Captain Mike Mukula also addressed the gathering on behalf of the other government officials.
The primary role in the country for many years was insecurity. Here in Teso, there is total insecurity. Uganda now is peaceful.
Call upon all the leaders of Teso to remain united and rally all the masses and all the people to support all the NRM programs. Let us deliberately focus our attention on the livelihood programs, including Yoga, PDM, Women Fund, Youth Fund, the support that government sends to people with disability, and also the support government sends to the older persons.
Before addressing the greater Teso community, Museveni paid tribute to one of the late bishops hailing from the area.
Let's stand for 1 minute and remember his soul. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is on a nationwide wealth creation tour in Teso.
None of them have been either in the government or in the church. Mzee Kaguta and his brothers have sold the land, he came to bury them recently. None of them had ever been in the government or in the church.
As he has always advised, Museveni noted that the government cannot employ all Ugandans, hence the invitation to agriculture.
I'm the first member of my clan actually to join the government in 1970 when I started working under Obote's office.
Museveni, however, advised that agriculture must be guided by the right enterprise selection for both large and small-scale farmers. With a few success stories recorded in different parts of the country, Museveni expressed his satisfaction with the performance of the parish development model funds.
I am hard what some people are saying that parishes are not the same size and so on. That's all right. Because the issue is the message. So let the 100 succeed first. Our parish, whether parish is big or small, let them succeed. So that the message goes, that you can go from each child to about. Then we can even add more money. If our parish, we can say 200, the members of parliament are here. If the message is very clear, we can add more money.
To those mismanaging the funds, the president said that time has come for heads to roll.
I read a report written by Teso. But they were being handled with kid gloves. They arrest him, they give him police bond. I have told the police commander that I don't want to hear police bond for any no-go. Then they go to court, they are given bail. Now, I will talk to the Chief Justice, we shall have to stop that also.
This rally marks the end of the three-day Wealth Creation Crusade for the president in Teso sub-region. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Meanwhile, leaders in and outside of government have expressed optimism in the ongoing war against poverty across the country. This, they say, is the solution to acts of criminality among the youth, including those in Teso sub-region, where President Yoweri Museveni has been for the last 3 days. The president's message continues to rotate around the 4-acre model of farming, which leaders of Teso agree is changing lives.
A wave of criminality was beginning to brew in Teso sub-region, and leaders were worried. These worries have been watered down and fears allayed.
At night, when they get you, they handle you from and put you upside down and make sure that everything is out. They were called the walk. Different groups. And the people were crying. Then I said, no.
President Yoweri Museveni's wealth creation and prosperity messages have sunk deeper into the minds of many.
PDM came and nobody wanted to believe in it because they felt about other previous, projects or government programs. They didn't succeed. So for that matter, this one will not succeed. But the approach that was used on it made some of us to believe that it can work.
This is becoming a game changer for the country, to the extent that natives of Teso have appreciated the message.
We are now a region that we are prepared for takeoff to join the rest of the country that has been peaceful for so long, the rest of the country where a lot of development has taken off, and I can assure you, we are going to run while the rest of the regions are walking.
Therefore, as patriots, when someone has good norms and values inculcated in them, they will learn to work hard and add value to themselves. They will learn to work hard and earn a living that will make them and their families survive.
The testimonies seen so far on how this message is changing Ugandans from poverty to prosperity are promising.
The wealth creation tours are solving the issue of thuggery, the issue of corruption, because the president has to know who ate the money, have they received, have they not received, what is lacking, are they getting the money or not.
The president spoke about the 4-acre model all these years. Are the leaders doing the same? So the vice president took the president to have farm
to show that, yes, Mr. President, I am also a beneficiary of your message. This is what I have done, and the sectors have been able to do. And the Vice President's farm is now like a model farm within the area where she lives.
But it will take unity among its leaders, as well as be on the front line for more success to be registered.
So we are walking the talk by making sure that PDM is implemented. As you're all aware, that every financial year we invest 1.4 billion or trillion to the citizens' well-being, and this is getting them from getting the citizens who are not in the money economy to the money economy.
Because we want to see that all Ugandans are engaged in economic activities. Yes. Of course, we knew they couldn't go to banks because they don't have collateral security, but with these circles, they don't ask for collateral. Even the loans are very, very cheap.
We should not live at where the president has left it. We should be able to have a follow-up, not only with those that the president has reached, but with the majority who have also done it better. But no one has got to know what they are doing. It motivates.
The just concluded Wealth Creation Presidential Tour of Teso Sub-Region is not the end, but the continuation of the campaign towards poverty eradication. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Well, with that, we'll take a quick break. When we return, more details.
To be a winner, it requires that you exceed all the limits of mankind and womankind. But when you play with MTN Momo, winning is easy. Simply get your phone and use the Momo app or dial *165*3#, enter merchant code, enter amount, enter your Momo PIN, and pay. Congratulations, easy! Your stomach is full, and now you stand a chance to win mobile money with MTN Momo.
Uganda, are you ready to kick things up to the next level? The Uganda National Lottery brings you Sports Stake 10. Predict the results of 10 football games and win big. With tickets at only 500 shillings, join the fun and make your predictions count with Sports Stake 10. Sports Stake 10, your ticket to football glory.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Welcome back. You are still watching News Tonight. The Uganda People's Front for Freedom leader Kizza Besigye has been charged and remanded to Luzira prison on charges relating to security and unlawful possession of firearms and ammunition by the General Court Martial. Besigye is charged together with one Haji Obeid Lutale, with whom he was arrested in Nairobi, Kenya last week.
Security was heightened at the General Court Martial when Dr. Kizza Besigye, together with his friend Obeid Lutale, were brought before court to face charges that led to their arrest recently in Kenya. Dr. Besigye and his co-accused Lutale were swiftly arraigned to the dock before the presiding chairman of the court-martial, Brigadier General Freeman Mugabe.
Yes, your lawyers are not around, but I believe you know them. You can mention their names.
I object to a court of the military because I am not a member of the UPDF.
Besigye's legal team led by Arias Lukwago objected to the pan of the court-martial. However, this court overruled their objections.
Persons have been illegally presented before you, Mr. Chairman. The two accused persons here traveled to Nairobi lawfully.
The two accused persons were brought before this court for pre-taking and raised objection on the ground that they are civilians and therefore cannot be tried by this court. In reply, Counsel Raphael Mojshala and Counsel for the State submitted that jurisdiction to try a person not otherwise subject to military law is provided under Section 117 of the UPDF Act. This court has looked at Section 117 G and H of the UPDF Act and finds that the accused persons are subject to military law.
Besigye and co-accused Lutale were charged with 4 counts under Section 117 of the UPDF Act, among others fundraising and mobilizing resources against the security of Uganda, unlawful possession of 2 pistols and 8 rounds of ammunition, monopolies of armed forces.
Since November 2024, while at Riverside Apartments in Nairobi, Kenya, we are found in an unlawful possession of 08 rounds of pistol ammunition, which are ordinarily the monopoly of the defense forces. Do you accept or you don't accept?
Don't.
A plea of not guilty entered.
Prosecution led by Colonel Raphael Mugisha informed the court that inquiries into the offenses against the accused are still ongoing and asked the court for more time.
To have people who are not subject to military law, but otherwise get subject to military law because of circumstances or inviting themselves to be tried by the military law. Chairman and honorable court members, one of the reasons also advanced was that he has not got time to inform his lawyers.
The duo, through their lawyers, challenged the extradition laws and processes through which they were arrested, but prosecution objected their prayers.
If you were to do or to pursue extradition processes, there are mechanisms. It is initiated by a memoranda raised by the Minister for Foreign Affairs here to his counterpart in Kenya. And then they follow the processes which involve a judicial process, because the courts of Kenya have to issue orders to that effect, that so and so is required back in their country on account of certain cases, charges preferred against them. They must be considered as fugitives who are running away from the long arm of the law, who are running away from justice in their countries of origin. It's only that in those circumstances. 2, if it's about deportation, you must have entered that country, Kenya, illegally, and it should be that country complaining that somebody entered here illegally, or having entered illegally, they committed offenses in that respective country. So in that case, again, the judiciary has to pronounce itself on that matter, has to issue orders.
Court remanded Besigye and Lutale at Luzira prison till 2nd December 2024 for further mention and hearing.
Yeah, Counsel Kwago, your submissions have been taken seriously, and the court is adjourned to 2nd December 2024 for mention and ruling on what you have submitted on.
Prosecution alleges Dr. Kizza Besigye and Obedi Lutale committed crimes between October 2023 and November 2024 in cities of Athens, Greece, Geneva, Switzerland, and Nairobi, Kenya.
The law requires that objection to the charge must be taken before a plea. And the Council Kwago has raised the matter after they are accused have pleaded to the charges. And this court is unable to give a ruling on these matters now. So I advise that they can be remanded and the ruling of court will be given on the next hearing date.
Amwaye Vanjuko and Deborah Namamonde for UBC.
Meanwhile, the construction by Ham Enterprises, which has been ongoing in the Balikudembe-Owino market area, has been halted after concerns of illegal construction activity that may have caused overflooding were raised to the Kampala Capital City Authority. Today, a site visit by senior officials from KCCA, led by the Acting Executive Director Frank Rusa Nyakana and the KCCA Physical Planning Engineers, has resulted in a decision to suspend the work temporarily until further assessments can be made.
The visit was prompted by growing concerns that the Jugular drainage channel, crucial for managing stormwater in the area, was being obstructed from ongoing construction. Heavy rains recently exacerbated the flooding in the market, making it difficult for traders to access their businesses and posing risks to public health. During the site visit, KCCA officials assessed the situation closely, and a detailed report will soon be produced regarding the construction's impact on the drainage system and the local community.
The purpose of our tour today was to have an on-site assessment of issues related to the drainage system that is in this area. In particular, we are looking at the developments over the Jugular channel that are being done by Ham Enterprises.
While the halt in construction is temporary, KCCA made it clear that a thorough evaluation will be conducted, and if Ham Enterprises is found to be in violation of regulations, necessary mitigation measures will be imposed.
As you know, Kampala is experiencing a serious drainage issue, and the KCCA is going to do everything around the clock to make sure that we restore order, especially in regard to drainage, so that our people's properties stop being destroyed. So I'm glad that Dr. Ham is very cooperative. He has paused the developments. Our engineers are going to swing into action. We'll make a report. We'll give the advice that is necessary, and hopefully we shall get this matter sorted out so that all of us and our people, especially the vendors, have their properties safe and are not suffering any risk of being destroyed by floods.
The company has acknowledged the concerns raised by both the traders and residents and pledged to follow all necessary procedures and the law to resolve the situation.
With this kind of dialogue and meetings and collaboration, a lot of issues shall be resolved within the city. For we need development, but we need to do it under the law. No one is above the law, and there was nothing like impunity. That's why we are all here, and we are trying to solve a problem within the law and from a practical point of view.
This construction also limited access to the Catholic Church, St. Balikudembe. However, during this site visit, it was reached out that access should be worked on for people to access the church.
Dr. Ham has confirmed to us that he is making arrangements. He has been in consultations with the leadership of the Catholic Church to make arrangements to ensure an accessible, motorable access to the church, which should allow the parishioners or worshippers of that church continue enjoying their freedom of worship in that place.
You can't block the path to God. I'm a very God-fearing person and a very humble person, and I will do whatever I can to make sure the church is fully accessible.
Thaddeus Musoke, the spokesperson Kasita, on behalf of the traders, also expressed their commitment to cooperate with both Ham Enterprises and KCCA to ensure that the construction does not further disrupt their businesses.
Ate si kitundu kino kyokka
wabula ne ku bizimbe ebimu e Nabugabo.
The Achievable Drainage Channel is a crucial component of Kampala's urban water management system, directing stormwater from densely populated and industrial areas into Lake Victoria. Building malls or other developments near this channel exacerbate flooding, pollution, and undermining both environmental sustainability and urban safety. Justine Nakami, UBC News.
And Ministry of Education and Sports continues to stick on teachers' qualifications to degree level as a regulation in the National Teachers Bill 2024. Appearing before the Parliamentary Committee of Education and Sports, the ministry says upgrading the teachers' qualifications is to improve the education sector in instilling professional teaching. However, a section of members of Parliament on the committee disagreed with the ministry, citing how there are strong loopholes to be looked at in the sector rather than upgrading the teachers' qualifications.
Parliamentary Committee of Education and Sports has engaged with the Ministry of Education and Sports in an exit meeting concerning the National Teachers Bill 2024. The National Teachers Bill 2024 intends to instill discipline and regulate the teaching profession, a pivotal step towards enhancing the quality and professionalism of Uganda's education sector.
Our responsibility as a ministry is to make sure that we define the standards, the needs of the country in education.
Saying that when you're teaching people, you must be qualified as a teacher to teach children.
The State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, emphasized the requirement of teachers' qualifications to degree level and continuous professional development.
People have already started even preparing them, so those who are grade 3 are moving on to diploma, from diploma to degree. But what is important here is that we have got to set standards as a ministry.
The National Teachers Bill 2024 is complying for a transition in the profession where it proposes licensing of teachers and introduction of school practice by teachers.
No one is removing a person from pre-primary upon passing of the law. It is saying you teacher in pre-primary, organize yourself within 10 years, you should have achieved this.
However, some members of Parliament on the committee disagreed with the ministry, citing how the regulations in the bill might compromise the teaching profession.
They are passing a bill which has a lot of challenges on the teachers. For example, you are pushing teachers to have degrees, nursery teachers to have degrees, where you have no institution in the country as a government institution training nursery teachers, where you have no classes in schools in Uganda where you are recruiting nursery teachers.
However, some suggest how the ministry should work on urgent gaps in the education sector, including salaries and welfare of the teachers, for the bill to be effective.
Projecting every teacher to have a degree, when you have not increased their salary, they will not be able to survive, they will not be able to live. What will happen, they just leave the teaching profession and go for other professionals.
As the bill progresses through Parliament, the State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, requested the committee to ensure that the final legislation effectively addresses the needs of both educators and the learners. Lydia Chomkama and Gloria Gutabinji, Parliament.
And the 3rd Division Court Martial, chaired by Colonel Francis Kateraho and sitting in Moroto, has sentenced Private Richard Echom to 30 years of imprisonment. Echom was convicted on charges of attempted murder. In July 2022, Echom shot his lover, Daphne Tim, after spending $7 million on her. The sentence was read in the presence of all the soldiers at the division headquarters.
Court martial chaired by Colonel Francis Kateraho sat in Moroto and sentenced Private Richard Echom to 30 years in prison after he was convicted of attempted murder. In July 2022, Echom shot his lover, Daphne Atim, injuring both of her legs after accusing her of spending his 17 million shillings and having an affair with different men. Echom pleaded not guilty to the charges, but the court-martial, based on evidence from her team, her sister Ishete, the owner of the gun, Joseph Lukwago, and the doctor, found him guilty and convicted him.
Miss Esiate Helen, sister to the victim, appeared before this honorable court on the 8th of November 2023 and testified in this honorable court. I quote, open quote, on 24th of July 2022, on a Sunday, I got a call from Echom Richard telling me that he had killed my sister and I should come and pick the dead body.
The 3rd Division Court-Martial, chaired by Colonel Francis Kateraho, sat in Moroto and read the sentence to Echom. Kateraho stated that they gave him a lenient punishment since it was his first offense and considered the misbehavior of the woman. However, based on the act of tarnishing the UPDF image as an institution, the permanent disability sustained by the woman, and the wasting of government resources by pleading not guilty, they imposed a deterrent punishment to prevent would-be offenders from committing similar acts. Echom was sentenced to 30 years in prison.
Sentence you, RA 235546, Private Echom Richard, to 30 years imprisonment.
The court-martial advised Echom to appeal within 14 days. The sentence was read in front of other soldiers at the 3rd Division headquarters. Echom joined the UPDF in 2016 and has served for 7 years. At the time of committing the crime, he was attached to the ground base, Air Force, based in Nakasongola.
And the Minister for Health, Dr. Jen Ruthacheng, has urged all stakeholders to work together to promote the safe use of antimicrobials. She also called on healthcare professionals to prescribe antibiotics responsibly and for patients to adhere to treatment guidelines.
The World Health Organization has classified antimicrobial resistance as one of the top 10 global health threats requiring immediate attention. According to health professionals, antimicrobial resistance increases the spread of diseases, severe illness, and death. Minister for Health, Dr. Jen Ruthacheng, has now urged all stakeholders to promote the safe use of antibiotics. She was officiating at the ongoing 3-day antimicrobial resistance conference being held in Kampala with the theme, Educate, Advocate, Act Now.
The silent, insidious crisis that compromises our ability to treat infections, leading to longer hospital stays, more expensive treatments, and ultimately more death.
Uganda has a national action plan on antimicrobial resistance, and a number of stakeholders have committed to supporting this plan to contain the misuse of antibiotics.
There is a law in place about who has access to these antibiotics and where they should access these antibiotics. So the biggest thing, I think, missing link is enforcement. And enforcement, especially in low-middle income countries, has always had gaps because of sometimes political reasons and others access. Because when you speak of antibiotics and you're speaking about prescriptions, that a patient must avail a prescription to a pharmacy or drug shop to be availed antibiotics, but then there's no access of a public health facility or hospital that is availing these prescriptions. So it remains a complicated issue, but the biggest bit is on addressing access is enforcing. Primarily, if they can address the enforcement gap.
Because antimicrobial stewardship is very heavily behavioral or based, making sure that clinicians are adequately educated and that there is a mechanism in place to make sure that we effect that behavioral change, that I will not prescribe based on an abstract concept, but I make sure that it is indeed the correct diagnosis, that I'm giving the correct drug for the right duration and the right route.
Stakeholders attending the ongoing Antimicrobial Resistance Conference are calling for more awareness creation on the responsible use of antibiotics as the issue cuts across the sectors of human, plant and animal health.
Decision makers, sustainable investment at country.
And the Katikkiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Mayiga, urges people to prioritize health matters to prevent and avoid diseases that can make them vulnerable. Mayiga made these remarks during the signing of a memorandum of understanding between Ernest Cook University and Buganda Kingdom at an event that took place at Bulange, Mengo.
The Kingdom of Buganda has signed a memorandum of understanding with Ernest Cook University to promote health through the Accuray Diagnostic Imaging Center. The Minister for Health in the Kingdom, Kotilda Nakate, signed on behalf of the Kingdom, while Professor Michael Kawoya, the Vice-Chancellor of Ernest Cook University, signed on behalf of the university. The Katikkiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Mayiga, emphasized the importance of prioritizing health matters and urged people to use skilled medical professionals.
The Kingdom of Buganda is keen on working with key persons and institutions in the field of health care and in the field of health extension services. If our focus is social and economic transformation as a kingdom or as a country, then health must be prioritized.
Professor Michael Kawoya, the Vice-Chancellor of Ernest Cook University, expressed his gratitude for the partnership with the Kingdom of Buganda and mentioned the key objectives of the memorandum.
Promote health and well-being among the people of the Kingdom of Buganda, but also others in the rest of the country. And in this MOU, we are going to work together with hospitals within the kingdom to build capacity and to offer services which are currently not being offered.
The Minister for Health in the Kingdom, Kotilda Nakate, stated that she is committed to ensuring that the partnership benefits the people in terms of access to quality health services.
Tulina omukisa nti omukago guno gujja kutusobozesa okufuna obujjanjabi n'okukebera endwadde ezimu ku bwereere.
In another development, Minister Kotilda has launched a medical camp organized by Accuray and the Kingdom of Buganda, where people are tested and given free medication that will last for a week. Andrew Sebira compiled this story.
Meanwhile, health officials in Machindia Division, Kampala, are sounding the alarm over the increasing number of Mpox cases, prompting leaders to convene an emergency meeting to address the issue. Let's take a look.
Health recently announced an outbreak of Mpox in Uganda and cautioned locals on preventive measures against the disease. Dr. Alex Ndiabakira, head of Makindia's health department, reports that cases are rising daily. A meeting led by Deputy Resident City Commissioner Caroline Kasaija brought together division leaders to tackle the outbreak.
Uganda so far has registered 576 cases, and more than half of those are actually in the Kampala metropolitan area. And you know that Kampala is affected by the dormitory effect, so the people of Mukono and Wakiso are the same people of Kampala. So basically, these more than half of these, over maybe close to 300, are in the city. Makindi alone has 30 cases.
Experts have advised that avoiding contact with infected animals, especially monkeys and rabbits, can help prevent the disease.
Now, there are those who are at high risk of getting infected, whether your immunity is normal or not. And these include people whose jobs involve dealing with the community, with community members who receive visitors on a daily basis.
Mpox is a killing disease, but I want to thank the people of Makindi. And I'm still also telling you that we need to keep ourselves safe, not to get the disease. So my work today was to create awareness.
Deputy RCC Caroline Kasaija pledged to continue public education efforts through local leaders, stressing the importance of awareness in combating the outbreak.
And other local leaders. And these local leaders contribute almost 100% in controlling the crime, because they know their areas more than me. They know their people. So we sensitize them on how they can fight the crime.
By working together, health officials and leaders aim to curb the spread of Mpox in Makindi Division. Lydia Chomkama and Joseph Muyingo for UBC News.
Now, the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development has urged the local community in Remanded district to support the nuclear power project, assuring them of fair compensation and livelihood restoration of all the project-affected persons. Now, this commitment was made during the launch of the Resettlement Action Plan study, which sets the stage for further technical evaluations for the realization of the nuclear power plant project.
Nuclear power production has officially commenced here in Buganda district in the Busoga sub-region with the launch of the Resettlement Action Plan.
Resettlement Action Plan RAP study is conducted and implemented to enhance the development impact of the project and thereby improve the living standards of affected people. The momentous occasion in Kasato village, Kidera sub-county, Buganda district, was officiated by Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, the first Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister for East African Community Affairs. Buganda district is set to host one of the 4 multi-billion-dollar nuclear energy power plants. The construction of the 8,400 megawatts Buganda nuclear project will require about 30.1 square kilometers of land.
A nuclear power project entails many other auxiliary facilities. We are talking about storage facilities, water facilities, fuel facilities, the power plant itself. We are talking about the treatment facilities and all those. So all those facilities require that big area of land. And well, we looked at the district of Buganda, the Kasato village, where we are looking at stationing the plant, but also we are looking at the other surrounding villages, about 10 of them that will be affected.
This revelation from the technocrats sparked mixed reactions, with some local leaders and members of the public expressing concerns and skepticism about the project's impact.
But for us, we are not happy because we don't know. If they take our people somewhere, where will they get money? That is why our people are not ready to welcome this project in our area of Kasato.
Today we have aluminium here at Kasato. Around Lake Choga we have oil. Now, this is a great challenge of migration. Another one, we need a massive mobilization and education about the compensation.
It is an inevitable reality that projects of such magnitude comes with the challenge of resettling people from areas where they currently live and work. Honorable Kadaga emphasized the need for a collaborative approach to ensure the resettlement process is carried out with fairness and respect for affected communities.
My question is the livelihood of these people after all of this is put in place. They have stopped farming because they are not sure. We are chasing them from this area. That's why there needs to be urgency in the completion of this consultation.
Complete this consultation. So, food insecurity. So, the issue of livelihood is very, very important.
The Energy Policy for Uganda 2023 recognizes that by 2040, Uganda will require approximately 52,481 megawatts of electricity, with 24,000 megawatts generated from nuclear energy. Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
You used to
I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
In the heart of Uganda, a financial revolution is happening. We were once left out, saving the old-fashioned way, with an unexpected saving spot, keeping it too close for comfort. But now, we found a better way to save and manage money. Download the Wendy app from Google Play or App Store or dial *229 hash. With Wendy, your money is safe and you can earn interest daily. Visit your Google Play or App Store or dial *229 hash to register. Wendy Wanawoli.
Uncle Mo, asiri koja tukwasa. Vayo na wasajja batusonyiye. Chikakasi. Vayo.
Government has done it. Uganda Revenue Authority has taken you off the burden of paying interests and penalties. All you have to do is to pay your outstanding principal tax to benefit from the waiver of interests and penalties that runs till the end of December 2024. Call us on our toll-free line or email services@ura.go.ug.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
And on business news, Uganda has flagged off its first container of Hass avocados for export to Spain by sea, marking a significant milestone in the country's agricultural export sector. This follows a contract signed between Uganda and Love Fruits, a Spanish company, to export fresh Hass avocado containers to Europe. Officiating at the flag-off ceremony, chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee on Agriculture, Linda Uma, who represented the Minister for Agriculture, Frank Tumwebaze, noted that the committee is in its final stages of tabling a bill to facilitate agricultural investors by availing sufficient land for agricultural investment.
For years, Uganda has been exporting small quantities of Hass avocado by air, which has limited profitability. This new partnership with Spain will ensure large-scale exportation by sea, increasing revenue for farmers and the economy.
To flag off the first shipment of Hass avocado to Spain for God and our country.
Yeah, we have been producing Hass avocado for quite some time, but most of it goes through neighboring countries. And it is exported with the flags of our neighboring countries. But beginning today, and I would like to thank Balaj for this innovation of the pack house, that we are able to export our own avocado bearing our Ugandan flag.
While flagging off, the chairperson Parliamentary Committee on Agriculture, Linda Auma, emphasized the need to invest in Hass avocado because of its commercial and health benefits.
What we are producing is not enough. Yet Hass avocado in future will be an alternative for olive oil. You know, the production of olive oil is reducing due to climate change, and the quality of the oil that is in Hass avocado, it's the same quality we have in olive oil.
The Executive Director NADS, Dr. Samuel Mogasi, has implored farmers to interest themselves in the production of Hass avocados on large scale to tap into the vast market at both local and international levels.
I would like to assure all farmers in Uganda that finally the market is there. You can see. The market is there, and we shall help you to access the market moving forward. The Ministry of Agriculture has prepared, they have set up systems and structures to push this forward. So no farmer should get worried about the future of avocado.
David Muhumuza, chairperson of the National Avocado Federation of Uganda, emphasized the need for government to support them in making Hass avocado seedlings more accessible to farmers.
So we need the input of government and maybe some other NGOs, agencies, come and support this sector by subsidizing the seedlings. If we don't have money, subsidize seed. People have land in Uganda, as you all know. Our people have enough land in the country, but the challenge is having a seedling which is affordable.
Hass avocados, renowned for their longer shelf life and suitability for export, represent a strategic crop for Uganda's agriculture sector.
So we have actually 1 container every 2 weeks. Finally, the spill is broken. We don't have to worry anymore. We just have to stand together, push together, make it happen together.
Mary Namkose, UBC News.
Brought to you by download the Wendy app from Google Play or App Store or dial *229#. Wendy Wanaoli.
And now in sports, the Katikkiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Mayiga, has advised sports personalities to embrace discipline and commitment as the only avenues to success. This was during a meeting with Uganda's former world champion Halima Nakai at Bulange Mengo.
Nakai, who many of us are used to seeing sports attire, has today visited Bulange at the invitation of the Katikkiro Charles Peter Mayiga.
So Katikkiro kunchaza era nkisanyukidde era mmanyi kigenda kwongera okututumula eddoboozi lyange okuwikiriza abaana abato tibasobola okuba bachampiyoni tibannaye tebalina kutya kutuuyana woba olina omulimu gw'osobola okuwa woba olina ekitone kyonna ky'osobola okukola kikole na mutima gumu.
Katikkiro Mayiga lauded Halima Nakai and other Ugandan runners for quality representation and offered guidance on how they can reap even better.
So discipline is the cardinal word. If you are disciplined and if you focus for better glory as time goes on, you can achieve a lot of things. It is hard work, it is sacrifice, but above all, it is focus on the sport.
Nakai's visit to Bulange is historical as the first time Uganda's elite runners are hosted at Bulange by the Katikkiro Charles Peter Mayiga.
I encourage everyone to discover yourself. Everyone is talented. God gifted us with different talents. So let us discover ourselves and we give in our best.
Buganda's Minister for Youth, Sports and Arts, Robert Serwanga Salongo, committed the kingdom's insistence on sports, with athletics high on the agenda.
Kamuwange batulagira nti buli kisaawe ekinaazimbibwa mu masaze 18 kirina okubaako we baddukira si mupiira gwokka.
Halima Nakai and her guest exchanged pleasantries with the Katikkiro offering memorabilia, while he got a chance of donning Halima Nakai's 2019 World Athletics Gold.
Tekifudde nti oba ovaawo oba olyani oba olyani bw'obanga olina ekirooto ng'olina n'ekigendererwa kirwanirire osobola okubeera oyo omuntu gwe weegomba okuba mu bulamu bw'ensi eno kasita weesiga Katonda ate ne weewaayo n'okola n'oba wamu n'empisa.
Halima's contingent was some of Uganda's finest athletes, including Winnie Nanyondo, Ronald Musagara, Sarah Nambawa, and Emily Nanziri.
Well, a motor rally as Godfrey Sodo and Uganda Tourism Board have entered a partnership that will see the driver explore Uganda and preach it to others.
Aine Godfrey Sodo Kaguta will have no excuse not to excel in rally, starting with this weekend's Umospok rally in Hoima. This after a 4-year sponsorship that Uganda Tourism Board Chief Executive Officer Lilian Ajarova is one of many leaps to sprout sports tourism.
Sodo Rally team pick on this brand. For us, it's a great, it's something great because it's going to go a long way in promoting the destination brand.
Sodo is optimistic this partnership will enable him top of the National Rally Championship in a few years to come, and this with the sights on participation in the Africa Rally Championship.
Really, I have been pushing this for almost 3 years, and today I'm happy to have this group to partner with me in my rally. So, one, I want to ensure my supporters that since I started driving the rally, I have never been partnered with any group. So now that I have a partner, I'm sure now you are going to see what is going to happen in Hoima.
Sodo will be in action this weekend against all Uganda's top drivers as the 2024 National Rally Championship ends with a stop in Hoima.
Well, and the Uganda Cranes defeated Congo-Brazzaville 1-0 at the Alphonse Masamba Stadium last night, ending their 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers campaign on a high note. Let's take a look.
2-0 at home against South Africa at the Mandela National Stadium in Kampala last Friday. The Cranes had already confirmed their spot at the 2025 AFCON after Congo's loss to South Sudan last week. And on Tuesday, the 19th of November, the national team were able to bounce back with a 1-0 victory over hosts Congo-Brazzaville, thanks to an early second-half strike from Travis Mutiaba. Head coach Paul Putt hailed his side for picking up the 3 points.
The best team in South Africa.
La meilleure équipe, c'est l'Afrique du Sud.
Because they've been working 4 or 5 years together.
Parce qu'ils ont travaillé depuis 4 ans ensemble.
It's a solid team.
Et ils ont bâti une équipe.
Et nous, we are constructing a
Et
team.
nous, on est en pleine construction.
Alors, si if they do give us also 3 or 4 years.
Si nous aussi on peut faire 3 ou 4 ans.
You can see the difference.
The Cranes finished second in Group K with 13 points from 6 matches played in the qualifying campaign during the past 3 months. The 2025 Total Africa Cup of Nations tournament will be hosted in Morocco, running from December 2025 to January 2026. Mashamiro Victor, UBC News.
Does it for News Tonight. Thank you for sticking with us. Elizabeth Nakakoni on sign language. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Have a lovely evening.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Amazina ganje Nyetekwa Seruhanga John Bosco ninduga mu district ya Rukungiri byo muhanguzi wa miliyoni 16 na Uganda National Rotary nzahangwire urwo mu kuzana star 278 hash ngafuna message eriko mu byo muhanguzi nashemererwa konka nabaza kugira ngo ne byabafere sente ziriyo zona bakaziteka ngo nazihangwira.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Tuliko ground, Blascon, paint and win. This year, Blascon, paint and win. The roundy. Echicho, buy paint worth 100K. Get a scratch card, SMS the code to 7197. Stand a chance to win instant airtime, 1 million shillings bully day there, or a share of a 3 million shillings jackpot each week. What do you want the brand new Poda Podas, tuk-tuks, and so much more? Catch the paint and win action every Monday on Bukede One, NBS, and Sanyuka TV. Plascon, color your world.
There is only one rule you must follow in order to be a winner. Number 1, defeat the undefeatable. You, step forward. I want you to box the air until it falls down. I'm not seeing it falling in. You see it falling in. Box, harder. Winning is hard, but with MTN Momo, it's easy. Simply pay or shop with Momo for a chance to win mobile money every day. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
At Uganda Development Bank, we are committed to empowering communities by supporting projects that unlock excellent economic benefits for Ugandans through job creation, tax contribution, output value, and foreign exchange. We seek partnerships with projects that drive economic development in Uganda.
Vocational education does more of equipping of different skills, ranging from hairdressing, tailoring, catering, and so on. So those are basically the courses that we do, and we do them in different levels. My relationship with UDB came through Yuga Privi. I'm registered with Private Institutions Association. So one time we were invited for a meeting as proprietors of schools, and UDB sold in their idea of offering loans for some of us who are still developing. So Ray happened to be one of those that is not yet fully established. Of course, being a private institution, we didn't have